Leon was born on March 18, 1923, in Vienna to a very poor family that struggled for everything they had. They owned a little drugstore which carried simple, basic goods and was located right across the street from their house. Over time, Leon's father became very friendly with a high-ranking German officer. He was able to supply the family with food and necessary supplies. As a child growing up, Leon attended school with both Jews and Germans. For a long time, it didn't matter what religion the kids were, they just all got along. On November 8th, they learned that their friend, the German officer, had been arrested and killed for helping some Jews. Suddenly, they were afraid. And then on November 9th, the night of Kristallnacht, Leon's life was completely destroyed. At around 10 o'clock, a group of the Nazi youth came and threw rocks at his parents' store, breaking the windows and setting it on fire. The store burned down, with his parents inside. Leon was only 15 as he watched in horror. Afraid and scared that they would come after him, he ran as far as he could from his house and from everyone he knew. He took shelter in the Jewish community center, looking for help and comfort. He stayed there for a few days until he was matched with a family that lived in District 2. They had lost a son during Kristallnacht, and both of them needed each other. Scarred by the tragedy that had happened, Leon initially withdrew and wouldn't leave his room unless for specific reasons. And to make things more difficult, Leon was forced to leave his school in Vienna and attend a school solely for Jewish children. Life became harder every day for Leon and his adoptive family. Food decreased daily and friends started disappearing. Life became more depressing for Leon, and he didn't want to deal with the fear and uncertainty anymore. Leon could feel himself losing connection to the world and losing sight to who he was. He would regularly witness people being beaten on the street, and could see people starving to death on every corner. Leon's adoptive parents worked as chefs in the nicest restaurant in town. Every day after school, Leon would go to the restaurant, and little by little, they taught him how to cook. Can't be sung by two. One day after school, Leon went to the restaurant, and he saw his parents being thrown into a truck with many other Jews. Leon stopped in his tracks, and in that moment remembered the exact feeling he had when his parents had died. Gripped by rage, he went running towards the truck to try to stop them, but suddenly a young woman blocked his path. Her name was Amelia Wolf. She was not a Jew. Her father was a very high-ranking German officer, General Everett Wolf. The general did not believe in what Hitler was doing, but was going along out of fear. Another officer, one of his closest friends, was killed for giving bread to some Jews, and he did not want the same fate. Despite all their efforts to show him that they were different, he was afraid, and he wouldn't let himself get close to anyone, especially Amelia. One way the general proved his intentions were true was by making sure the letters Leon wrote to his parents in the camp would be received. The letters asked his parents all kinds of questions about their life in the camp, what he could do to help. They explained there was no food, no water, more work than anyone could dream of, and that people were being killed off like useless animals. His mother would clean the toilets for the German workers, while his father helped shovel dead bodies into the ditches every day. His parents were separated and not allowed to see each other, and when they did, it was for very short periods of time, in which they spent writing letters to him. Over time, their letters grew short and less optimistic. Leon began to realize that not even his occasional letter could bring joy or please them in any way. With the help of his cooking skills, Leon was able to get a job as a cook in a restaurant. He continued to learn and improve, and at 20 years old, Leon became the head chef. Over time, he and Amelia also became very close, and the general used that relationship to protect Leon. Leon and Amelia married very young. So, although on some levels Leon's life was good, danger was always just around the corner. Leon would write one final letter telling them that now it was time to end their communication, and that he hoped for the best for them, and for the first time he used the word love at the end of the letter. The general told his wife, Amelia and Leon, to go to London, while the general went to Mauthausen, the death camp in Austria where Leon's parents were being held. He loaded 100 Jews into a truck and said he was taking them to another camp. The general got them out and made his way to London. Once in London, Leon reunited with his parents, and they began their new life free of the Nazi Party. The general worked with the British Army on destroying the Nazi Party and destroying the death camps. Leon opened his own restaurant with his parents, while he and Amelia started their own family. They had a son, Simon Everett Adler, and this was my father's story.